Right then, so today is the 7th of August 2023, and as I've been reporting on for the past few months, obviously we've had these Bruce Lee 4Ks that were on the way, and a few weeks ago we had the Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest Arrow box set, which I talked about, and today we've had the release of the Enter the Dragon 4K from Warner Brothers. Now, to be clear, this box set, although it does include Enter the Dragon, one catch to that was because that was a Warner Brothers film. As you can see, it kind of stands out here in the centre. Warner Brothers Enter the Dragon, as featured here, isn't actually a 4K disc. They just kind of included it in this set for the sake of completeness, I suppose. So you've technically got all the films that he did in that era. I mean, if we're going to include Game of Death, 1 and 2, they included Enter the Dragon in this, but as I was saying in previous videos, this disc is the disc that's been out there for 10 years already. This is the 40th anniversary that came out in 2013. So there's nothing new here. They just kind of put it in there for the sake of it. All the extra features that are on there, we've already had before. So this wasn't too exciting. What was interesting was that Warner Brothers themselves independently were releasing this. In fact, it's quite surprising that they even allowed this to be included, but whatever. There are various reasons for that. But this is the opportunity that we got today to get the 4K disc of Enter the Dragon. So as a reminder to those of you that have been kind of invested in getting this box set, whether or not you've actually got it or not yet, obviously you do still need to upgrade this one if you're wanting to have the best that there is to offer. Now, as I've said previously, there is a steelbook of this coming out, I think, next month in September, but that's quite overpriced for what it was. Unfortunately, the extra features on this aren't anything new at all. Everything that is on here is also included in this and in previous versions, so you can compare. That's the standard Blu-ray that we've had since 2013, repackaged here, albeit, but still it's the same. The extra features on here are exactly the same. So we didn't really want to be paying a lot for this, which is a bit mad because it's a film that we really do appreciate and respect, but at the same time it's just the actual quality of the thing that is an improvement. Now, this isn't a full review of the thing. I haven't watched it yet. As you can still see, it's still wrapped in plastic. I will be watching this. What is there to say, really? I'm not into technical specifications of discs and describing that. It gets a bit boring and I don't really know what I'm talking about. I know a 4K disc when I see it, so maybe when I've watched it, unless I've got something very specific to say about this, I don't think I'll be doing any more follow-up videos, but I wanted to mention that this is something that you really should have on your radar if it's not already. Now let's look at the packaging. It is part of this 100-year celebration of Warner Brothers. There's several box sets coming out, collections with a lot of the Warner Brothers movies over the decades. This was included in that set as well, and at one point we thought the only way to get this on a 4K disc would be to buy one of those big expensive box sets with a lot of other films that you might not actually want. Luckily, as I say, it's not the case. You can order this, you can get this on its own, which is what you want, unless you do want those other films, of course. But obviously it was a great chance for us to be able to just individually add this to the collection. So that's hence that artwork there. So obviously new artwork as well for the cover of this thing. Some people collect just every edition of a film going. I'd run out of shelf space in no time if I did that. So it is nice to have this. Obviously, this is an important thing. I probably should have mentioned this out of the gate. This does include the special edition as well as the theatrical cut. I know in a previous video I was kind of referring to it as the director's cut. I don't think there was actually a director's cut as such. in name. I just kind of generically call it that. But the special edition, that includes some of the philosophical stuff with Bruce Lee that was cut out of the theatrical cut, but it has been in previous versions on Blu-ray and DVD. So it's good that this is included in 4K. It's not a special edition that's just on the supplemental Blu-ray, because I hate it when 4Ks do that. For an example, Expendables 3, that was a classic example where the director's cut or whatever, special edition, I don't know, I can't remember what they called it, of that was infinitely better. It was R-rated or whatever, 15 certificate, maybe even 18 certificate in the UK, whereas a theatrical cut was what you'd say PG-13 or a 12 certificate in the UK. So they brought it out on 4K, and it's like, yep, it's got the uncut version as well, but that's on the supplemental Blu-ray. That's not in 4K, which isn't why you buy a 4K disc. So luckily they haven't screwed us over with this one. The special edition and theatrical cuts, from what I understand, are both presented in 4K UHD. So that's very important. Now, obviously, I've not actually taken this out of shrink wrap yet. So what I will do is, they're a pain to open, so I'm going to get out my knife and we're going to cut into the thing. I'll try to cut my hand off. In fact, let me just pause it so I can do this safely, because I'm pretty sure this isn't. Pretty sure this is against health and safety. And today's video is brought to you by Cold Steel. Yeah, I'm just kidding. So let's take the plastic off there, and then let's close this down, because this thing is razor sharp. Let's just take that out of the equation. So, in fact, shout out to Modern Survival channel, Fernando. If you're watching this, you're probably not, but yep, I bought this on your recommendation. It's pretty cool. So let's have a look. So Enter the Dragon. These are the discs. Here we go. So there's your 4K disc, and there's your Blu-ray disc as well. So you get both. I really don't understand why we're still doing this, why we're still packaging Blu-ray discs with the 4K discs. Unless, of course, it's because there's not enough space on the 4K disc for the extra features, so they just slap them on the Blu-ray. But it just seems like a bit of a waste. It'd be nice if they could actually fit them all on, but maybe it's just a common limitation that you've got with these things, but they're still doing it anyway. Now, this thing was originally, I think it was $24.99 to pre-order, but then the price came down to $19.99, which is a little bit more standard for a 4K disc. I remember back in the day, DVDs, you used to get 2-disc DVDs, like I think Gladiator back in 2000, when that came out, Christmas 2000 on DVD, that was £24.99 as well. That was like 23 years ago. So we might think these things are expensive. I mean, I know that was a new film, but still, this is a new release, and it's in 4K, a premium product, and it's only $19.99. So prices don't really seem to have gone up as such over the last couple of decades. Hell, even tapes back in the day, videotapes, I know they're expensive to make compared to pressing discs, but still they were very expensive as well. So it may seem quite expensive, but it is a standard price, really. So it is what it is. I'll leave it there anyway. Like I said, I just wanted to do this as a kind of an unboxing and give my thoughts on what they've done with the release and show you some of the artwork. And just remind you, like I say, if you did buy the Arrow box set, that if you are wanting to have a complete 4K collection, which closed, I should have put that back in there, you do need to get this as well, because the version of Enter the Dragon that you get in this set is just the standard Blu-ray. So I don't know if I'm going to do any more Bruce Lee videos anytime soon, which is a bit of a shame, because I had a bit of a good run on the channel talking about these. Very popular subject, obviously. And it was a 50th anniversary coming up, and I had a lot to say about it. But there isn't really anything else coming out as far as I'm aware, so it does kind of feel kind of sad that we've come to the end of it now. In terms of this box set, I've watched all of the films on here now. I haven't watched the Game of Death, the final version yet. It's quite an undertaking, is that, so I'm kind of saving that for any time when I've got a few hours to spare. But I did watch all of the others, and I was very impressed by them. Obviously, 4K is great. Doesn't always work out that way, though, for everything. Sometimes there are disappointments. There were none here. I was absolutely blown away by the picture quality. I've just been watching Way of the Dragon tonight as well, and again, that is amazing. The bits at the beginning of the film of that, where it shows artwork and stuff, just the quality of that, it looked like it was actually something that was in front of my TV. It didn't pop out in like 3D or anything, but it looked like it was actually physically there, which you don't always get with 4K. Sometimes you'll get an element of it, like you'll see water on the screen, and the water has a very realistic look to it, but the rest of it just looks like part of the picture. But sometimes things really do kind of pop out, not physically pop out in 3D, but the colours pop out. And there's definitely an aspect of that throughout watching all of these films that I watched. Actually, maybe not so much the Game of Death films, to be fair, but certainly the main ones, Big Boss, Fist of Fury and Way of the Dragon. So I'm looking forward to watching this. I'm sure this will be the same as well. What I've seen on streaming in 4K of this, I've seen some clips stream in 4K. I know it's not as good, it's compressed, but that was impressive, so I have no doubt that this is going to be good too. Right, I will leave there, so you can subscribe to the channel. I'll see if I can do some more Bruce Lee related videos. I'll find a way. I'll make them interesting. And you can also, like I say, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.
This October, it is coming! That's right, it's that time of year again. Brand X Reviews marks its 10th anniversary in October, but also the 10th anniversary of the Halloween special series itself. You can check out the previous videos on the playlist section on our channel. They're all there listed in chronological order, and if you were a fan of those videos, you won't be disappointed this year because we're going to be doing a similar thing to what we normally do. So as a reminder, every year leading up to Halloween night itself, depending how many videos we actually do, depends when it begins, but ultimately it ends on Halloween night itself with our final video. Generally we do retrospectives or reviews of current, recent horrors, that kind of thing. Sometimes we branch out a little bit, but we'll see what we do this year. The discussions are being had with myself and my co-reviewer, The Core. I might even bring other reviewers in on this one as well, just for a bit of variety. So, check out the channel. If you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe, and of course, remember to check back in October because it will be happening.